guys, and welcome back to our another episode. And today we are going to be talking everything about as to why we closed down TikTok. Now, brands start off on TikTok or definitely have a platform on TikTok because it increases the visibility. It also helps the actual viewers and customers to be able to purchase straight away, and it obviously allows the brands to do lives as well. Now, we did start TikTok literally the next day after closing Westfield counters on the 13th of February 2024, and we started our TikTok journey 2024 on the 14th of January, and I think it went quite well for a little while, and we ended up closing it at the end of 2024. So today we are going to be talking all about that.
Why we closed our TikTok, what went wrong, if it did go wrong, and was it the best decision? So what would you say motivated us to start TikTok?
Well, being on social media, starting off on social media, I think it was just a natural process for us, to be honest, because we started off on Instagram, and obviously way before that it was YouTube. So being on social media was very, very natural to us. So TikTok just felt like the next process, the next stage for us to do it, and everyone was getting on it. It was very, very new to us back in 2024. We weren't officially like full-time on it, but I thought, you know what, as the kiosk is closing, why not? You know, it does offer another avenue for people to purchase as well. So why not from a business perspective? And it seemed quite fun. It seemed very young. I felt as if that we can definitely tap into the younger market as well.
The audience is completely new on TikTok. No one knew of us on TikTok, whereas Instagram, because we've been there for a very long time, we have built this community and a lot of people have heard of FWBEAUTY, whereas in TikTok people were hearing of us for the first time, which was really exciting for us because it meant, okay, we have this new reach. What can we do about that?
Exactly. So I think with TikTok we started off, I started off doing it from my home.
Yeah, you started doing lives and stuff on your house.
Yeah. In fact, let's rewind a little bit. I think I was on the counter. It was Black Friday in Westfield, okay? So it was our first ever retail Black Friday. And out of nowhere, I just decided to go live. Nothing was planned, nothing at all. I just wanted to go live. And that's the day that I realised, well, hold on a second, this may be something, because got amazing views, people were purchasing there and then, and at one point I even ran out of mailing bags on counter, and I had to quickly run down to our post office, obviously in the shopping mall, to go and buy some more and, you know, send it out to people. So I was not prepared whatsoever. So
I will say though, because you started doing lives on the kiosk, I think motivated, or I saw a lot of other kiosks start doing lives on their kiosk as well.
Exactly.
Which I didn't see before.
No.
I'm not saying we started the trend, of course not, but I think our like nearby people saw us or saw you and the girls go live in the kiosk, and that kind of motivated them to go on as well.
Exactly. So it was really nice, even for the girls, for myself, something different, because not every day is going to be busy on counter. So yeah, it was amazing. So when we closed down Westfield, I started doing TikTok lives from my home, and then, you know, any orders that came through, you would send it out from the warehouse and so on. So we were working together in unison. I would do a couple of hours in the morning, a couple of hours in the evening, and then I started doing the evenings, and then obviously eventually kind of phased that out as well.
I think TikTok lives for you must have been difficult though, because you've got young children at home as well. I mean, they're not as young as mine, but she has got young children. And how was that like fitting in TikTok lives around your children?
It wasn't easy. I would wait until they went to school, and I'm like, okay, so they're in school now, you know, I've got a couple of hours to myself, the house is going to be quite nice and quiet, let's, you know, get on with it, let's just do it. In the evenings, my main priority is that I do not want to interfere with my children. So I would always wait until my children, they've done their homework and everything. You know, it wasn't easy because I also want to separate work life with home life. I'm very involved with my children's lives, their schools and everything. So when I'm at home, when they see their mum at home, I want to make sure that I'm there 100%. And it did feel as if I was bringing home work, to be honest. And, you know, there were some ups and downs and everything. And also a corner of my room was a shop. So, you know, the kids weren't allowed to go there. You know, you can't touch the products there, and the lighting has to be set up in a certain way. So yeah, there was quite a lot of involvement. It's not just about pressing record, going live. I don't think a lot of people realize that it's actually not that easy. Some hosts TikTok hosts may make it look like it is an easy job, but it's not. No.
And I think you are still learning about the TikTok as well. And we did quite well on TikTok, and then we start learning about how to be successful on TikTok. But then that came with its downs. We had like, let me talk about the violations and the lies and all that. I mean, how did that all? How did you find it? Because my sister did TikTok.
Yeah.
I was kind of doing the online side of things, but I would say you were definitely in charge of the TikTok. So you're the most knowledgeable about that.
You know what? In the beginning, when TikTok got involved, so they noticed us who we are, they got involved, they invited us to their head office and everything. When they approach a small brand who hasn't had that exposure, they kind of pamper you a little bit. And I think I was kind of taken back by that. Like, wow, I'm getting invited here, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Oh my gosh, it was an oh my gosh moment. And I think realizing now, going through all the experience, I felt as if they kind of pamper you up a little bit, so you are loyal to them, And then as I went on with the TikTok shop and so on, I realized so many little things that was going wrong, because there's a lot of rules and regulation. I thought Westfield was bad, but TikTok is on a whole another level.
And like I said previously, we don't do good with rules.
Yeah. I mean, we like,
they're gonna think we're rebels.
Yeah, we're not rebels.
Regulations.
Yeah. So let me give an example. So obviously, I understand TikTok is a separate platform. They have their own rules and regulations that they have to be, same for everyone. I totally get that. I understand that. So a lot of the times that we would get violations in every single live, actually, and it was so off-putting as well, because when you are doing a live and you're really communicating and you're discussing something with a viewer and so on, and you're having that moment, having a violation sign come up is very, very off-putting for me anyway. And it's not as if you're making additional claims. It could be down to the fact that you're just describing a product and who has used that product and what issue that customer had. Like, for example, eczema, you could use the word eczema, for goodness sake. Just little things like that. And I had to constantly find ways of describing something that I'm trying to tell somebody about a product in a different way so that the TikTok don't pick it up.
What we sell as at FWBEAUTY is so niche and it's so customized. Each product is specific for each skin type and skin concern. So you do have to talk about these skin conditions and use certain phrases which TikTok don't allow you to use in your life.
Exactly.
And that was really difficult, because how are you then able to sell a product if you're not allowed to talk about who it's for, what it's formulated for, or talk about any of the benefits? So that was kind of disheartening and demotivating, I will say, as well, because I went on live a couple of times, not as many as my sister. And even then when I got the violations, we were like, well, I'm not saying anything right. That's exactly what this product is. It does and is for.
Exactly.
And I didn't understand it. And even I found that frustrating. So obviously you were going through this day in, day out. So we did try to raise tickets. We did try to say, look, this is what our product is. We submitted all the information, but they still weren't happy with it. And it's just this big circle. And I know it's not just us. A lot of brands go through this as well. But like I said, we are at a stage where we are, I think, grown women, we know what we are. We are very confident in what we sell, that we don't need you putting restrictions in our place in order for us to get our message across. We're very confident in our products. We know what it's for and who it's for. And we don't want anyone to then put a violation on that and stop us from saying that, because how is that then reaching the customer that it's meant to be for? Sorry, going on.
No,
but very fine. So that's what that was my view.
And anytime you raise a ticket, like, Fatia said, it will just go around in circles. It's like you end up just like, forget it, I can't even be bothered to raise any tickets or anything like that. The other reason, I would say, the other issues that we started to see, I used to get to see a different side of customers. So again, coming from our little bubble of our online community and so on, TikTok community is completely different from our online community, from Instagram community, from a YouTube community,
That's
from
not
our Westfield
customer,
community.
by the way.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not every customer. Well, I'm going to preface this by saying it's not every single customers, but the majority of the new customers that are on TikTok are very used to impulse buying.
Yeah.
And they've worked TikTok out. They've worked out the system of TikTok, and that doesn't favour small brands.
No, it doesn't. Not just small brands, any brands. So, for example, if I was to say, when I had this conversation with our TikTok manager, I would, to a point, I think near the end of our TikTok journey, I was
very close right now.
Yeah, I was very, very brutal with her. And bearing in mind, she's our third TikTok manager, okay? But we discovered a new pool of customers who are, the only way that you can describe them are scammers, so they would buy from anyone basically on TikTok. They will buy, use up the products, only to leave a negative review, or use up the products, keep it, and then put a claim in, put a refund in, but they'll send you
Nothing.
an empty packet. Vitamin C powder once you've got.
Vitamin C, a wig.
A
I received a wig once, some hair extensions or something. I looked at it, and I for the moment, because I'm still new to all this, I thought it was something I ordered. But, I didn't think of it too much. But now I'm thinking it was like and they're just random stuff and things. Sometimes items that we don't even sell.
Yeah.
And it's not just us. We saw it happening with a lot of
people. Exactly.
There was a lot of brands that were actually showing it on live that this is what we received as a return. Yeah. And also, it was happening globally. It was happening to all brands.
So yes, there was a new pool of customers, circle customers, shoppers that we got to see, and it wasn't very nice because even though there was a few of them compared to the amazing customer base that we have built on TikTok, it still put a downer on things, and it does affect smaller businesses. So when you put everything together, the trolling, not so nice customers, which was a bit of a shocker because I think again we need to pop out of this bubble because we think everyone is amazing, everyone is good, but there are some really nasty people out there, and it was just getting too much. Like, and you know what, that's not what we are about. And at one point I felt as if when we had the managers involved that TikTok were making us or kind of pushing us very, very harshly to sign up to campaigns, put more discounts on, put more bundles on, do more lives, and it honestly felt as if I was working for them. I was constantly working for them, and I'm not putting that much hours or time into our business. And that's not who we are about. We are not a cheap brand, and I felt as if TikTok was cheapening our brand, our values, our morals as well. And that's why we decided to basically take a stand and think, do you know what, it's not for us. I mean, we're not coming off TikTok, but
we're talking about TikTok shop
here, yeah. So it is not for us. We're going to keep it where it is safe, as in, and what I mean by that, and I think what happened in January with the whole USA ban, even though it was for a day, I think it proved a point that we were at the mercy of another platform. So if another platform goes down and we solely rely on, or a business solely relies on that platform to generate sales and so on, what are you going to do? And I think that ban was also a wake-up call. Whereas if we were to have our business, which is online, FWBEAUTY.com, that's under our control. And the other avenues, other platforms we can use to market, to let people know who we are, what we're doing, and so on. And I think that was very, very important to have that control of our business and not let it be dictated by other platforms.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah.
I think my advice would be make sure your foundation is strong, and our foundation is our website, our online customers, and our e-commerce brand. And then, by all means, try all the other avenues, but don't let that be your main source of income, because the other avenues have ups and downs. They take a huge percentage of your earnings as well. There's all those factors to think about as well. TikTok commission, sometimes all the other offers, you're never in gain. Is always the benefit of the other side, the platform that you're using naturally because you're using their platform. So there's all that to think about before you start. So have a strong foundation, and I believe that we have a strong foundation, alhamdulillah, with our FWBEAUTY website and our customer base and our social media platform, Instagram and YouTube and all the other places, that we now are going to use TikTok as an advertising platform rather than a selling platform. So we're not going to have a TikTok shop on there now currently, but we are still on TikTok. We'll still post on TikTok, show you more behind the scenes, a bit more relaxed version of FWBEAUTY.
I felt as our brand identity was dying.
Oh gosh, tell them about the Black Friday lives and stuff.
Oh my gosh, okay.
So, what you talking about how you felt the brand identity on TikTok was dying.
Yeah.
Why was that?
Okay, so let me give you an example. So obviously with TikTok, they have to make their commission, they have to make, their money as well, which is fair enough, understandable. It's a business, right? Okay, that's fine. So we had, just for Black Friday, we had these TikTok ads agency. And we were going back and forth. We had meetings and everything. And one thing I have to say with me is don't look down on me, or don't belittle me. Yeah, don't belittle me. I'll explain why. So we had this ad agency on. Now, bearing in mind, obviously, there are some really great brands out there who are doing amazing on TikTok, generating that sales. And here we are, plodding along. It's still quite good and everything. Definitely,
but definitely new to TikTok.
Yeah, exactly. And this was our first ever proper Black Friday TikTok. Okay, so I remember the ad agency almost laughing at the fact when I told her what I would like to achieve on TikTok. And she just laughed like, okay. How about this? And then she gave me a lower figure, my target. And that just, and I could just feel
a nerve.
Yeah, no, it did. And all I could feel is my blood just rising. Like, how dare you? You have no idea how much we put into this business, and for you to belittle me like that. But I didn't say anything to her. I thought, okay, you know what? Okay, that's fine. In my head, I was like, okay, I'm going to put it in my brain, look it up. But I was thinking, I will show you, I will prove to you, you know, because nobody works harder than us do, you know. So, and that Black Friday, which we'll talk about on our next episode, by the way, it was quite a difficult Black Friday for us, but I proved her wrong. And the funny thing is that when there are other creators, other businesses who are putting in ad money, by the way, to do those 12-hour long lives, which I'm pretty sure you guys have seen. Oh, guys, watch me. I'm doing 12-hour live here, blah, 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 blah. We didn't pay anybody. We did it all organically, and I did straight up 11-hour live on one day, 8 hours live on the other day, and all the way through, you know, picking and packing through Black Friday, by the way. And I doubled what she expected, you know. And because we didn't pay for ads, funny how after the first day of Black Friday sales, guess who was in my messages? Oh my God, you've done so amazing. I can't believe it, blah, 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 blah. How about we set this up for you? How about, you know, we get this extra amount of viewers for you? And that's another thing, by the way, whether you like it or not, TikTok have control of how many people they push your content and your lives out to. So you have to pay for that. We may have, I think right now, 10,000 people on our TikTok. Not everyone's going to see it because we have to pay to make sure everyone sees it. Things like that really, really ticked me off, because we believe in things doing things organically.
As organically as possible. And of course, it's okay to promote, and it's okay to use ads money, and it's okay to use agencies for help and stuff like that. But then when, you know, it's all a money-making scheme for everybody. And if you can, we've got the strong belief, and we know we can do a lot of the things organically.
Yeah.
And where you can do it organically, do that first before you start investing and putting money into ads money.
And it's also being true to who we are.
It's definitely true to who we are.
Otherwise, it feels fake.
Our community know us for that. You know, those customers who know us from the beginning and who have been with us from the beginning know that we're all about organic trust with our customers, just building everything organically as possible.
Near the end, when they started seeing how well we are doing, obviously they would seeing ka-ching,
Yeah.
they would start to push their fulfillment center on them, knowing full well that we have our own fulfillment center, because they get commission on that. Then they started pushing live hosts on me as well, because again, they make money from that. But what else was there? It was ad agencies as well. Even though they know that we've got our own in-house marketing team, no, they weren't happy with that. So there was a lot of things that they wanted more and more control of. And I honestly felt as if I was working for TikTok, that I'm giving away our business. And I need to, for that sense of security of what we have built from the corner of your room, I wasn't prepared to let that go. Now that we've let go, bearing in mind it was like, I think 10 months we were on TikTok. When we announced it to TikTok, by the way, to our viewers, we've had such amazing positive feedback, even from other businesses, which was amazing, because it goes to show that we are not the only one who's experiencing that.
I think from my side, letting go of TikTok didn't actually make much of a difference in terms of like my side of admin and finance and everything. We weren't heavily relying on TikTok. Like we said at the beginning, we are a brand that's not going to be relying on any specific platform to create the money for us. That is not what we do. We have already grown an organic platform already that is our base and we are in control of. But letting go of TikTok, I realized a very nasty side of TikTok as well. I don't know if I should say that, but they're not very nice when you let go. And once we got upon the bans and suspensions and stuff, they wanted me to film a 5 to 15 second video of my fulfillment center, because they weren't happy with our fulfillment center. And we have to go around there filming my fulfillment center for them to approve. So, and I've got a full-on fulfillment center.
Exactly. Exactly.
TikTok fulfillment from my own warehouse.
Yeah.
Stuff like that I felt was really petty. And also, I am so glad that we did get rid of TikTok Shop, because at the moment it's not aligning with my values.
No.
It's not aligning with FWBeauty's values. And if they do better and things change, we might go back on it again. But right now, I felt like they were cheapening our brand. It was cheapening my products. It was going out to the wrong audience. My audience are niche, and they are very aware of their skin and their concerns and luxury.
They are affluent people who are respected, who are mature, and the nasty side of the buyers that a lot of people got from TikTok, we don't want them.
Yeah.
In being blunt. I had this one lady who sent back, I remember, I think you can tell it was cooking oil in one of our bottles. So it's like, how do you go to sleep at night?
And so TikTok do need to do better.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all well and good being on the side of customers. We are for that as well. We, consumers do have rights, but what about the brand? You need to look after the brands as well. And as soon as TikTok figure out a way where they can balance both of that, we might try it again. But right now, their values do not align with ours, and it's not. I mean, I speak for a lot of small businesses when I say this, because a lot of businesses come forward and supported us in our decision, and they are taking steps to make that decision as well. So we are, very lucky that we don't rely on just one source for our FWBeauty growth. Many businesses, unfortunately, only have that one source of income. We're very lucky not to be in that position, and we're lucky to call the shots or stopping our TikTok shop. But if they do better, if they change, we may go on it back in the future.
The TikTok is one platform, I have to say, that has gone through so many changes. I mean, on a good note, we have had so many people when I was on live saying, oh my gosh, I should watch you from YouTube days. I can't believe I've come across your page now. So there's a lot of discovery involved. A lot of the customers got to see me actually demoing the products as well. So I think it was like an in-between bridge between online and having a counter. Being online, you're not able to actually touch or smell the product, but where I'm demoing it and showing the results and everything live, it was easier for them. At the same time, we also built up a really great community on TikTok as well. Some of my regulars coming on, we'll have general chit chat, and that is the bit I really love. The bit that is salesy, very pushy, me trying to meet targets, that's not us at all. And I think that's where the pressure came from. And then, when there's one thing that goes wrong, everything kind of just rolls on, doesn't it?
And I think also, I just want to sort of say, for any businesses, when you open a business, you have targets in mind, you have goals, you have, a certain amount that you need to hit per month in order to pay your overheads or whatever. We're not going to get too much into this. We're in a very fortunate place where that's not a concern for us, hence why we've stopped our TikTok shop. We don't want someone telling us what our target should be for that month.
No,
we're okay with what we're doing, and we're very comfortable with what we're doing. And when TikTok come and tell you, well, we need to push you for this, we need to push you,
sign up for this, sign up for that one, do this, do that.
Grown women, no one's pushing us to do it.
Yeah, exactly. But TikTok has opened doors for many people.
It's still great for awareness. I mean, we're still on TikTok. We've still got a very good, we've got over 10,000 people on our TikTok page, which for a brand that started relatively new on TikTok, pretty good going. Yeah. And we're still obviously posting on TikTok. It's just we're talking about the TikTok shop. Selling on TikTok is just so different, and I think it's not for our brand.
It felt like an auction.
Yeah, it's like,
we're staying for £5 now, guys. Come on, you've got 5 seconds. Go for it right now.
Like, it doesn't even cover the costs of making the
oh my gosh,
£5. Are you kidding me?
Exactly. So, but yeah, there was some good and there was some bad. The bad mainly came from, obviously, I would say, the TikTok shop. But yeah, it was a good experience to have. I would say it is a great in-between platform between our online platform, our website, and obviously having a kiosk. So it was a great in-between one. One thing I do want to say is letting go of your control of your business. That is one of the biggest no for me. We are both very, very passionate about that, is because we grinded for many years to get this business where it is right now, to build our community organically through over all of the platforms. So in order for me just to hand it over to another platform, which, by the way, if we're based in America, can you imagine what it would have done to us if we solely relied on TikTok? So those are the things that were like a wake-up call for us, definitely. So but overall it was quite good.
Yeah, having said all that, do follow us on TikTok.
Yeah. So with TikTok, it's very, very chill back content that we upload.
More behind the scenes.
Yeah, just a little general chit chat. It's a little, whereas Instagram is obviously a little bit more formal, it's a bit more informative and so on. But yeah, do definitely follow us on all of our social media platforms. And of course, you have to subscribe to us here on YouTube as well. Now that we are back,
Yes,
we are back
on YouTube after so many
exactly.
years. And that's for another video, why we came out on YouTube and everything like that. But I hope you enjoyed watching this video. I hope you got to learn more about us and why we stopped our TikTok shop. You still obviously can find us and our products on our website, FWBEAUTY.com.
Yes. So until then, stay radiant. Take care.